following program is an exclusive Disruption Networks production.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broking everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at Nye Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my Nye VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome, or visit us online at nyvwofrome.com.
Want to know what's going on at the D? Hit up DisruptionNetwork.net and check out our events calendar, brought to you by the Events Co. Find out about upcoming guests, special events, concerts, show schedules, community activities, and more. Get connected at DisruptionNetwork.net.
Welcome to EC Radio Podcast. We would like to thank all of our sponsors for joining the Disruption team, and we hope that you will support all of our sponsors. And of course, we appreciate you listening to this program.
EC Radio, Disruption Networks. EC Radio, Disruption Networks.
It's a caffeinated show today. Yeah, wow. Holy loudness in the headphones. Getting caffeinated here. How are you, everybody? It's EC Radio time. We're live on all Disruption Network social media platforms, and it's wrapped up into a nice podcast that you can listen to at DisruptionNetwork.net. Also, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify. We're pretty much wherever you listen to podcasts, you can find EC Radio and all the content we have here on the D. Funny how that works. Big love to my friends over at Utica Coffee for making me feel the way I do today. Woohoo! I'm excited. I love this stuff. I mean, we're Adirondack roast all the way. It keeps me fueled throughout the day. I get up early. I'm an early riser. And it just keeps me going.
There you go.
Yeah. I throw a couple little drops of CBD from my friends from Utica Hemp in there too, and what a day! It's fun to be in my world with the CBD and the Utica coffee. Two great worlds coming together, and it forms this on a daily basis. Also, much love to my friends over at Nye Volkswagen in Rome and EJA Moving Services. Love all our sponsors, and a big thank you out to everybody that came out to Trip Fest this past weekend on Saturday. Huge turnout, a lot of fun. So great to see so many great friends and old school friends and people getting together and commiserating and rocking out and paying homage to Captain Tripp, as well as paying homage to the music, man. That's what it's usually about. It's about the music. So good turnout. We raised a bunch of money for Stephen Swan Humane Society, and we had a great time. And thank you to the bands and our sponsors and everybody that came out. And big ups to Tommy for helping me put it on, and our Disruption family, and great times. I want to do more stuff at the JCC, the Jewish Community Center. It's a great room. I love the room. It's like kind of like an auditorium. It's got a big old stage. It sounds great.
Where is it?
So it's on Oneida Street in Utica.
Really?
Yeah. It's a great room. It's like partying in your high school. It kind of feels like you're partying in elementary school.
Sweet.
Because they use it for preschool.
Nice.
There's a gymnasium to the left, and there's the auditorium to the right, and there's classrooms downstairs. But yeah, it's got that high school vibe to it.
Wow.
Yeah, I love it. I want to do more stuff there. Thinking about having a couple parties there for the D.
Excellent.
Yeah. Because it's the room. There's not a stage like that in all of Utica.
No, there's not. Does they have like the wooden front?
Exactly.
And the wooden stage?
Exactly.
Maybe people are going to flash back to their high school memories or junior high or elementary memories and just a kick back.
And that's what it is too. It's just like you remember going back to high school or elementary school, but you're also allowed to drink alcohol too.
Yeah, comfortable environment, booze.
Exactly. Make you loosen up when you're back in the school grounds. It's funny. We were kind of hanging out back as the bands were loading in, and one of my buddies looked to the other one and goes, "Hey, as you're smoking that cigarette, you could be put on a registry for this because you're right next to the playground."
Oh.
It's just, the jokes were going left and right, but thanks to the JCC for letting us have it, and thank you so much to Saranac and Frank Donato and Priceless Inspections, my good friend Josh Amodio, as well as Dr. Scott Domenico for helping us out with Trip Fest. A lot of fun. Looking forward to next year's. I got to tell a story. Christina on with us today. How you doing? Good to see you.
Hi, good to see you.
I have to tell this story because it kind of ties in with I have a song that's following me. And we'll get into that in just a second. But so on Friday, we get ready for Trip Fest. Now, it's in honor of Captain Tripp, who was like a mentor to me. He had all the head shops in Utica, if you remember him. Plus, he had the Rainforest Preserve and the Rock Club down on Genesee Street for many, many years.
I remember.
We get ready for Trip Fest. And what we do at Trip Fest is we get together a lot of his belongings and leftovers from his head shop. He was a hoarder, and he just has so much stuff. We could do 40 Trip Fests.
That's cool.
For us to get rid of everything that he owns. It's just, there's just so much. Jewelries, necklaces, and bongs, and pipes, and T-shirts, and anyways. So we go, and we have these bins that we have every year that we use, and we go and we put them in Tommy, his brother's garage, and we went to go get the bins out of the garage to bring them to Trip Fest. And so we grabbed the 2 bins and so put them in there, and we're all packed up. And Tommy looks, he goes, "What's in that bag right there?" I'm like, "I don't know." We open up this bag, and it's a bag full of vintage posters. Yeah, bag full of vintage posters. We've never seen these posters before.
Wow.
Never, just appeared out of nowhere. That's Vinny being with us at all times. And I felt his presence all night. I believe in all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, me too. I bought right in away.
Right.
Yeah.
In that whole spirit world, it's definitely out there. And he has left clues throughout. So he's only been gone 3 years now. He's definitely left a couple clues behind here and there. But this bag of posters came out of nowhere. And it just blew us away. Very serendipitous. Would that be serendipitous? It'd be more...
no, it's a sign. It's synchronicity.
Divine intervention.
Oh, yeah.
Would it be? Is that divine intervention? Yeah. Isn't that when like God steps in or spirit steps in to block you from death? Divine intervention.
Not just death.
Or just about anything.
Just lots of things. Rise to fame.
That's divine intervention.
Yeah. Saving you from walking across a bridge that's going to collapse. I get that, but also divine intervention, meeting the love of your life. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that goes.
Yeah.
I think.
So I want to back up a little bit and talk about the song that's following me. It's a Fish song that's following me. It's Billy Breeze. And it's an album, but it's also a song title as well. So I wake up on Friday morning, same day, wake up on Friday morning, and first song I put on, because I shower. When I shower, I like to listen to the music, Pandora.
Oh, yeah.
First song that came on was Billy Breeze. No big deal. I listen to it, whatever. I'm showering. Right, so then get dressed to go into the car, put on the radio. Not the radio, but I put on my streaming and stuff. First song I hear, Billy Breeze. Okay, that's twice now. In an hour I've heard this song. So come in, do the podcast, and I have Our Common Roots as my guest on Friday. Great band from Utica. They played Trip Fest, so we were promoting Trip Fest. And we started talking about Utica hemp and CBD and how it can help dogs with separation anxiety. So the guy, Brian from Our Common Roots, he goes, "You know what I do for my dog for separation anxiety? I just play him the album Billy Breeze." And I'm like, okay, so that's the third reference I got from Billy Breeze, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, it gets crazy. So now, fast forward a little bit, get ready for Trip Fest. We go into that bag of posters that I talked about just a second ago that came out of nowhere. What's the first poster I pulled out of that bag? The poster for Billy Breeze. Yeah, I pulled that out.
Wow.
I pulled out the poster of it because it's also an album, but it's also a song.
Yeah, no, so this is just Friday.
So now I'm freaked.
Okay.
Now I'm free. I'm texting friends, they're fish fans, and like, what does this mean? And so on and so forth. It gets better. I just got done working with Trey Anastasio last week too from Fish. I did 3 nights with him for rehearsals in Geneva and stuff like that. So for some reason it was all this is weird and just meant to happen, but maybe just his lingering effect has made this all happen. But anyways, I was working with Trey all last week. I go home from all this, setting up Trip Fest, everything like that, and I go on to Netflix. Lo and behold, there's a brand new Trey Anastasio documentary on Netflix.
Really?
And of course, I had to watch it. And in this documentary, he goes back to his old house where he wrote Billy Breeze and tells the family that's living there about how he wrote the song and what it's about. It's about his daughter. So this is like, I've had like 6 Billy Breeze references on Friday. It just came out of nowhere. And it's a pretty song. It's a dreamy song. Yeah. It's very soft. It's very soft and just, it's like kind of like a lullaby.
You could probably meditate to it.
I'll get to that in a minute too. It's kind of like a lullaby. It's got great arrangements and beautiful melodies, and it is a very, very pretty song. So I wake up Saturday morning. First song I heard was Billy Breeze. So yeah, this song keeps following me. I'm now listening to the lyrics, and nothing's really. I'm not connecting to anything with the lyrics right now because it's about a child sleeping.
Right.
It's about his daughter.
So what do you think it means?
I don't know. I'm trying to get an answer out of somebody.
Well, wait.
And everybody's just like blown away by this whole story. And I've been telling it all week.
When was the last clue that happened? Was the last clue Saturday morning?
No, it actually came on yesterday too. But I think it's because I've been talking about it so much. Maybe AI is interfering now.
No, the machines are not rising against you.
It's just so weird that this song is following me. I don't know what it means, but it's kind of cool. At least it's a highway to hell.
Oh, no, that would be bad, honey. No.
Man. But yeah, if anybody out there knows meanings of songs and what they mean, because this happens. I mean, the other side, I really believe like my spirit guy is trying to tell me something through this song. Mm-hmm. And that's what I firmly believe. Like they're trying to show me something.
I'd start writing everything down, look for numbers, look for more clues.
Yeah.
What times did these songs come on? What were the dates?
Mm-hmm.
Anything.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
Dates of the song, you mean?
When the song was produced, when the song was
97.
released. You know what I mean? And then, okay, so but what day? Okay. Are there any more day references? What was Friday's date? There's numerology too. Let's not forget it.
Yeah.
So
that's something a friend of mine's going through right now too. She keeps running into the same numbers over and over again, just all switched around and stuff.
Do you have a favorite number? Like a lucky number?
I really don't think I do.
No.
I mean, I thought I did, but it never was lucky for me.
You don't just like it a lot.
I don't have any luck. That's the thing. I have no luck whatsoever. Oh. Like, you know what I can do? I'm that guy that can tell you the football picks. I can give you all the football picks. And I'll go, like, how many games in a week? 16 or however many games there are?
Yeah.
And I can give you, like, I can go 13-3. But once I put money on that game, they'll all lose. Ooh. I'm mush. I have no luck.
All right, so maybe your luck isn't going to be.
Are you a numbers girl?
I like numbers.
What are your numbers?
Threes.
I
like 3 threes. I like 9. I don't want to give out my home phone number, but
what is
all of my favorite numbers are in my home phone number from when I was a kid.
What?
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's bizarre.
Really?
Anytime I've ever done something cool, like won a business plan competition or anything, it's always been a combination of 3s in that number. So
it's
I don't know.
Threes.
Threes is combinations of 3s.
Are you one to play lotto?
No, I don't.
No,
I don't even do win at scratch offs. I don't do any kind of gambling.
You have no luck with gambling.
I have no luck with gambling, none at all. So the profit thing is out for me in that regard.
But yeah, numbers and signs and like seeing things repetitively and just like even stickers. It's just weird, right?
Yeah, it's weird, but you got to pay attention to it just in case. I don't want to be caught off guard by a couple of numbers because I didn't pay attention. I need to know.
Yeah.
I got to know.
But how do you know, though? Like, how do you figure it out? Like, how do you dig into the meaning of what that number means to you?
I don't know. I don't know if I meditate. I meditate a lot.
You do?
And
you could shut your brain off with all the things that are going on in your head. The meme queen over here.
That's how I do it.
You could shut your brain off?
Yes.
Yeah?
I love meditating. And if you focus on it, if I focus on numbers, if I focus on my favorite things, other things come. I just make room. You make room in your brain for new ideas to come in. new creative stuff. If I get too wound up in a business project with Underground Greens, I'll step back and I'll just try to think of other things. And then as I push away from the things that I'm trying to figure out, the problem that I'm trying to solve, then all of a sudden it clicks. And it's like, oh my God, that's what I gotta do. And I'll wake up at 2 a.m. to write it down. It'll be a dream. It'll be driving down the street and just see a sign and it'll click. And then I have to write it down right away. And that's how I solve my problems.
Do songs follow you too?
No, I haven't had the song thing.
No.
Numbers.
So my instances has never happened to you before. What I'm going through right now? Nothing
Haven't
at
had
all.
the number thing happen.
Or
Did have
just a number thing.
weird sign stuff happen before, but not that.
Like what?
Last weekend, I have a camp. It's a family camp. So there's always like 30, 40 people there running around doing different things. My cousin came up and she's learning how to do that Reiki. So she laid me out on the table and I was looking at the sky and the leaves and thinking about my problems. And she said, focus on, what you want to solve in your life. And I did. And it all went well. And it was really an awesome experience. But then I lost my keys. I've never lost my keys ever before. It's a big wad of keys. There's like 13 cabins. Then there's chainsaws and other things that we lock up and generators. So I have this big giant wad. I've never lost my keys before. Lost my keys. Couldn't find them for a week. Didn't want to tell anybody. My dad owns the property. I finally copped to it and told my dad that I lost my keys. I was so embarrassed. And he's like, well, where were you? And I was like, I was over here. And I walked over to the area where my cousin had given me the Reiki. My keys were under the leaves. I stepped on them. I was like, are you kidding me? They're clip-on keys. They clip onto my belt or my pants loops or whatever.
She probably unhooked them when she was doing the Reiki on you. No?
Nope, because that's not the last time I had them. Last time I had them, I was opening up our cook shack.
Yeah.
Which is like, 700 feet away. There's no way it could have been that. So I don't know why they were there.
Huh. Do you think your spirit guide messes with you a little bit too?
God, yes.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't you ever have dreams that lead you to make a different decision?
Yeah.
Go to bed thinking one thing. All right, I'm solid on this. This is what I'm going to do. This is a choice I'm going to make. And then have some weird dream and you're like, maybe I should rethink that.
Have you ever had a dream and everything happened like verbatim, like the very next day of what you dreamt about?
I don't know.
I've had that
I
happen.
think it has, but I talk myself out of thinking that.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little afraid to admit that something like that could happen. I don't want to know.
Bernie Freitag is checking in. Serendipitous is appropriate. It is something that happens miraculously or a happy, beneficial way you nail it. Oh, he's saying I nailed it or you
Sweet.
nailed it. So that's serendipitous. But divine intervention is when the spirits step in.
Woo.
Yeah, I know. See?
Right? Like,
I've had mediums in here. We had a medium in here recently. He didn't really pick up on too many vibes, but we've had other mediums in here that have picked up on the old Italian lady that lives in here. Because we are in East Utica.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of old dead Italian ladies that are in this neighborhood.
You ever get bipped in the head walking down one of the halls?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what they do. They bip you in the head.
I'm around it a lot, too, working at the Stanley often.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
Theater?
Oh, yeah, especially at night, too.
did a
Because I
show
got
there
the
in
keys
the
I got to
80s.
lock up at the end of the night, so I hear some weird shit, like, on the daily.
I would not be in there alone.
I love it.
No.
I love it.
Nope.
I think
That
they're
or
super cool.
The Capitol Theater? Nope.
I think I'm like I could be maybe a medium sometimes. If I really channeled it, I think I could because I can feel the spirits a little bit,
Well,
and then I think these people, it's some
Getting
training that go into it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can really. It would drain my energy though.
I don't want to be into and I don't want to know.
Right.
I don't want to be
I
that
think
into.
I'm already there, and I don't need to like dive into that area.
Yeah.
I'd go
I
down
can be
a rabbit hole.
amused. I'll be amused all day long, but I don't really want to know.
I remember feeling the spirits for a while. Even when I had the bar back in the day, the EC was definitely haunted. I could tell you stories. We could do a whole nother podcast.
How old was that building?
Very old. It was built in the 1800s, late 1800s, 1890 or something like that. Yeah.
Sure.
Super old. A lot of crazy shit happened in there.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I used to hear sound checks too. Like I'd come in the early afternoon and open the door and I'd hear check 1 2, check 1 2, and the spirits would be sound checking.
I would have been out, gone.
I hear that a lot at the
I'm
Stanley
a chicken. I couldn't even live in a big house unless there was a big dog in every room.
too. Really?
I'm afraid of the dark. Inside. Outside in the woods, I'm good in the dark. Inside in the dark, no good.
No good?
No.
How many dogs do you have?
I have one little, so I got to have a tiny house.
Uh-huh.
There's no way. I'd have to get, what are those giant dogs? What are they, bull mastiffs?
Yeah.
Big ones?
The big
I
guys.
want those. If I ever get a bigger house, I need one of those in every room.
Puckhead saying the brewery had a lot of that, especially in the basement where the storage tanks are. Yeah, the brewery's got some spirits. That's for damn sure. I've heard some crazy shit in that place too. And you could see them. Like if you're hanging out in the tavern and you have a couple too many, the spirits will sit there and hang out with you. He's saying also in the gift shop. Yeah. Even in the tavern, right upstairs in the tavern. If you drink enough at Saranac Brewery, you'll end up seeing like the ghost of FX Matt or one of those people.
Well, limit my drinking there.
I'm kidding.
I'm a big chicken. No way. I'm done. Be out.
You would be out?
Yep, out.
What about aliens? You into aliens?
Oh my God. Yeah.
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 What if an alien were to like pop down in the middle of Salmon River?
I'd run.
You'd run.
I do have an alien story.
Okay.
Okay, so 1997, I'm hanging out at my camp. There's nobody there. I'm with my friend Frankie and my puppy. And all of a sudden, I look across on the water on this peninsula of our land, and I see a light, and the light splits, and the lights start going up and down. At first, I thought, these are raccoon hunters. These guys are, they're trespassing on land. So I fire off a couple of shotgun shots, get off my land, the whole thing. We get a lot of trespassers. It's 80 acres of land. The lights don't go away. The radio goes off. I'm videotaping because we had just started to sing a song and playing guitar. Videotaping all of this as it happens, the lights and everything. And then all of a sudden, they just not blew up in the sky, but they like just dissipated. And I have it all on film.
Where is this again?
Lake Ontario.
Lake Ontario.
Yeah. So I send the film away to this woman called Jennifer Jarvis of NOFA. Is it NOFA? MOFA. Something like that. She's in Canada. She's on the other side. She saw the same thing that night. On the other side, not the same light formation, but something different. So she takes my film and sends it to Massimo Teodorani in Italy, this physicist. The physicist analyzes the film, I kid you not, I have the transcripts, and says to me on the phone in a broken Italian accent, this is the stuff that Spielberg likes. It's exactly what we want to make movies out of. I put all that stuff in a little box. I have not seen any lights since then, but every day I'm terrified that that's going to happen again.
Where is this box now?
Oh, I still have it.
You still have it?
Oh, yeah.
Like tucked away?
I'll bring you I have it on CD or DVD. DVD? Yeah, DVD.
What's that? No, I'm kidding. Wow, crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it actually they did the whole study. They found out there were no planes in the air that year. They had gone through the redacted files from the...
So you investigated
Yeah, because I thought I was crazy. I didn't tell anybody for 10 years because I didn't want people to think I was nuts.
Uh-huh.
So now I still don't know what it is. I'm just saying that these people, these scientists, thought it was something, and they couldn't find
Especially
anything
the
else.
Italian dude.
Yeah, it was weird.
He knew.
The Italian dude. Yeah, the physicist. He wanted to come visit and scout it out, and I don't know why he didn't. Whatever.
So was
Stuff
it
gets in the
like
way.
right on the lake?
Right on the lake, right on Lake Ontario, where sightings have happened before. It's actually in the Marysburg Vortex. Marysburg Vortex is kind of like the Bermuda Triangle, but it's our northern New York version of the Bermuda Triangle.
Really?
So, yeah.
Well, you're blowing my mind. I didn't know about this.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Marysburg Vortex.
The Marysburg Vortex. It was mapped out with the different magnetic anomalies and all that stuff by some guy in like the 1850s, 1800s. And then there's been other scientists that have come through. And, well, it's have you ever heard the concept of limestone? Like old limestone being quarried, like old limestone buildings attracting spirits.
Yeah.
So that whole area where I'm at is all limestone and bedrock. And we have a lot of underground caverns and water sources. So there's an artesian well on the property. There's a lot of natural springs. So they say that attracts different stuff, causes magnetic anomalies. Who knows?
So they're coming for
I've
the
read
limestone?
about it. I don't know the depth of belief that I'm willing to go with it, but...
Interesting.
Yeah, I sleep with the TV on at camp. I don't want to hear nothing out there. Loudly.
Is it like way out there in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have no neighbors.
No neighbors.
No.
So you can see a lot. It'd been cool. Were you up there last night for the meteor shower?
No, I came back to Rome last night.
I'm sure you can see a bunch of that though.
I've seen the Aurora Borealis one time. Mm-hmm. And on clear nights, we do see a lot. We get a lot of action. It's fun.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anybody who's heard the alien story is like, oh my God.
Well, they're saying back in the day, like even Griffiths would have alien sightings and back in the 40s.
Well, yeah, they say all of the Air Force bases, they draw in alien blah, blah, blah activity and all that. So is it that, or is it a plane that they just don't want to tell us about?
Right.
What is it? But when those lights move up and down and you see that, it scares you. Like that fear, like you just don't know what to do.
Right. And the movement of the lights, too. It's not by human.
Natural.
It's not natural.
It's like
right.
one light up and down, and then it splits into another 2 lights, and then those were going up and down, and it split a few more times. It was weird. It was weird.
And how long did this go on for?
It's seconds, it seems like.
Yeah.
But when the radio cut out,
Yeah.
I had just bought new batteries, and then it stopped, and the radio kicked back on. It was like, get the dog, put the radio in the car. We're out of here. I left.
You bounce.
I'm a chicken.
Yeah.
Out. Out. Completely stone cold sober. Out. But then I forgot about the video. I had videotaped it, and then watching that and then sending that off. It was crazy. It was crazy.
You dug right in, though.
Yeah.
That's so cool, though.
Yeah. I'll have to find that. I'll send it to you.
I would love to see that.
Yeah. I'll find the transcripts, too. Massimo Teodorani.
And I'm very intrigued by the Marysburg Vortex.
Marysburg.
So what other incidences have happened in the Marysburg Vortex? Do you know of any other?
I had a book a while ago.
So there's a book about this.
So, yeah.
So this is on Lake Ontario.
Yes.
So on Lake Ontario, there's a little area of Lake Ontario where people maybe capsized or
Eastern
drowned.
part of Lake Ontario, yeah.
Yeah?
Disappearances.
Disappearances?
The Bigfoot sightings like back in the day,
Really?
when they first started settling the area. But it could have been, Native Americans back then trying to scare off people. It could have been anything. It could have been a drunk Dutch trader dressed in furs, So I don't know.
Or it could have been aliens.
Or it could have been aliens. I try not to think about aliens too much. And I never watch Bigfoot shows in the middle of the woods.
But is that vortex in the water itself, or is it on land?
In the water and on land.
So it's both. So it's a big diameter of land.
Sure. They're still finding ships out there.
Really?
I think that's one of the places you can go, to Sackett's Harbor, and then go out and then go diving to go look at the wrecks. So I don't know much about it because I don't do underwater like that.
Yeah.
So
what if they brought like ghost hunters over there or something like that, or some kind of like...
I think there is a northern New York ghost thingy, but I don't know much about that. I think I found them at one point.
Huh.
I don't want to know any more stories, though.
No.
I have a hard enough time living with mine.
Well, we need to know these stories, though.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we got to get to the truth in all this. The government and the higher ups, they need to stop hiding all this stuff from
the
us.
The powerarchies are hiding the truth.
They are. We're not naive. You got to be real naive to think we're the only thing in this universe.
Absolutely.
You got to be really naive. Because you think we're all by ourselves. Come on.
I know.
It's ridiculous. But I'd like to come in contact with one of them, or at least some human do that.
You can come up to camp anytime you want to.
There's stuff going on at camp, huh? I think you're taking too many of these greens over here. There's some funny stuff in these things over here.
Maybe that's why my greens grow so good.
Make you see aliens
it's
and
in
shit.
The vortex. We'll just call them vortex greens now.
See, I didn't think we'd be talking about aliens and stuff, but
Touched by an alien.
Christina has this really cool program. It's Underground Horticulture is what she does, and it's a company called Underground Greens. And you've been here before, and you've blown my mind with what you do with your green thumb, if you will. You got a green thumb. Yeah?
All of those microgreens that I just gave you today, those are all 2 weeks old.
And she gave me 13 of them. That's her number, too, right?
It's my lucky number.
That's the lucky number is 13. So she gave me 13 of them. This is the only thing in my refrigerator today. Oh, wow. So thank you.
Should have brought more. I should have brought salmon.
So you should have brought salmon. Oh, I want to talk about salmon fishing with you, too, in a little bit, too.
Okay.
That was something that we used to do often as a kid. I used to go with my family a lot, especially around Columbus Day weekend. But we'll get into that a little bit. I want to talk about Underground Greens because you did bring a bunch of stuff. Okay, so first of all, what's in the big one here?
That's sweet peas.
These are all sweet peas.
Those are 2 weeks old. They're
Okay.
sweet pea. Yeah. And they taste like sweet peas.
And they taste like sweet peas. And then so explain to me like how what looks like leaves and grass can taste like sweet peas.
Before it even gets to the point where...
Can I interrupt? Can you smoke this too? Have you ever tried smoking any of this?
No, but I've heard sunflowers leaves you could.
Okay, and you brought me some, right? So let's save those.
Yeah. I think they have to be the big leaves, like a
damn
tobacco
it.
part. I think you have to dry them out.
Anyways, go ahead. How does this grass-looking leaf thing? It looks like weeds, really. And how do you get this to taste like sweet pea?
It just does. I mean, like baby cabbage is going to taste like regular cabbage. It's going to be a little sweeter. It's not going to be as bitter though. The carrots taste like the carrot microgreens taste like carrots.
But
it's
these
all made up of the same cells.
These never bud into, say, sweet peas.
Oh, sure they would.
Oh, they would.
If I planted them outside and didn't cut them off, sure they would.
Okay.
As a
But
matter of fact, a lot of times I do that. So I'll grow sweet peas, and then when it gets to the time, if it's spring, weather is cooperating with me, and I have some leftovers, I'll just go out and dump it, and they'll keep growing.
nice.
Yep.
I'm listening to fish eating grass now. How hippie am I right now?
Oh my God. But the cool thing about microgreens though is that so they grow in 2 weeks.
Okay.
But
2 weeks. All of them.
All of them. 2 weeks.
And is it like a seed?
Yeah.
Just a little seedling?
Individual baby seeds. You throw them all in. You cover a flat, which is like a 10-inch by 20-inch container, about an inch deep. Fill it with medium, and then you sprinkle the seeds on, you water them, and they grow in 2 weeks. But the interesting thing about the microgreens is that at that baby stage, at that 2-week stage where they only have 1 or 2 set of leaves, they are 4 to 40 times more nutritious than the full-grown counterpart. So you could eat a handful of microgreens and get the same amount of nutrition as if you ate a whole cabbage.
Really?
Yeah.
And just a
So-
little pinch?
In just that little pinch. So it's
How
highly
is
nutritious.
that? How does it keep the
It's-
nutrients in like that?
It's not that it keeps the nutrients in, it's just that all the nutrients aren't spent yet on getting to that adult stage. So they haven't used up all of their energy from the little baby cotyledon seed to grow bigger and to get to that maturity level. I mean, and when you eat them, they're less bitter. They're easier to chew. They're easier to digest. Think of a cabbage leaf. If you ever eaten cabbage, it's kind of fibrous. If you ever chewed on a raw cabbage leaf, it's chewy, it's fibrous. The little baby cabbage microgreens aren't chewy and fibrous, so they don't have that fiber. They don't have that age. They don't have that old growth on them yet. So the nutrition is more easily available to your body, to your system, and it's easier to digest. They just did a study recently that when you eat like a tablespoon of microgreens and have it on your tongue, it makes the same exact enzyme mixing with your saliva that that pill that everybody takes on a TV show when they're having a heart attack. They're like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Get my pills, put it under my tongue. It does that same exact thing. It has that same exact effect.
Huh.
So we're just now learning the benefits of the microgreen. 1, more nutritious. 2, a lot of other enzyme effects that go on that we don't even know about them all yet. The studies are just starting.
When you grow them, would you under LED lights or something like that? Or
Yeah, I
with a lot of this
use regular
hydroponics
shop lights, like
Yeah.
$7.99 shop light, and then I'll get a cool bulb and a
like
warm
these
bulb.
fluorescents that are above us?
No, I do use fluorescence,
Yeah.
but I'll use like a warm bulb and a cool bulb, so that's on the spectrum of the light to give it a more natural sunlight effect. So one will be 3,000 kelvins and the other will be 6,000 kelvins. 6,000 is more daylight, and the other one is more of a warm sun. But the combination of the two gives it a bigger spectrum, and they grow just fine. And I'm only growing them for 2 weeks anyway.
2 weeks at a
2
time.
weeks, done.
And that's it.
Done.
Do you have to like dry them out? Is there like a
Nope.
pruning process or any of that?
Nope. You just cut them off.
Cut them off and
Scissors.
throw them in a bag, and that's it. And
You have to wash them 3 times. Mm-hmm. And then I dry them on screens with fans, keep the moisture in a closed room, and then off they go.
all right, let's try this one here. Barrage.
Barrage.
What's barrage?
It's a blue. It's kind of a very tall blue flowering plant, but
Okay.
it's got medicinal properties. It's supposed to help with clearing out your lungs. I can sell the flowers once it goes into flowers, but when it's small like that, it tastes kind of like cucumber.
It looks like the leaves with the buttercups used to go, Mama had a baby and her head popped off, right? And then
Yep.
this would be left over. And I'm going to
Yep.
eat this.
You're gonna eat.
All right. Okay. Flavorful.
Any cucumber taste, or what are you getting out of it?
Yeah, that is cucumber, huh?
Yeah.
Like, a little bit.
Some people get different flavors out of different things, and that's just the way it is. You know how some people have an aversion to broccoli? Mm-hmm. That's a genetic disposition. Those people just aren't going to ever like broccoli.
On the back end, I get the cucumber. On the back end? Mm-hmm. In the front, it's kind of, I'm going to try again.
Bitter,
It's got a little bitter to it.
like a cucumber skin. Cucumber skin is very bitter.
There you go.
So,
Yep.
yeah, it's weird.
It is weird.
And then some
It's
people
good,
won't
though.
taste that bitter at all.
What would you say, the enzymes? Mm-hmm. My enzymes are going to be on fire today. We're having a dance party. Chocolate mint.
Smell it.
Smell
That
it, okay.
one, crush it and smell it. When you crush an herb, that's
Oh
when
my
you get
God,
the
that smells
oil.
great. I want to rub it all over. I love chocolate. That's my kryptonite. It's chocolate. I love it.
You can dry that and use it in it as a tea.
And smoke it. Oh, you can use this as a tea?
Yes. I don't know that I would smoke
I want
mint.
to smoke it all. You use this as a tea, huh? Dry it right out. And
You can dry it out. Right now, a lot of people that I sell to, they're dipping it in chocolate and
That's
using
so
it as a
good.
topper for like a chocolate cupcake.
This would be good in drinks.
Drinks. Well, mojitos, right?
Mojitos or something like that. Something you have to muddle.
Yeah. The
You know?
muddling, yes.
This is the perfect muddling green. Mm-hmm. You muddling greens, you. Wow, that's great.
It's weird, isn't it? Can you? It's like an
It
Andes
tastes
candy.
more mint than chocolate.
Yep.
It tastes like an Andes candy. Yeah.
So if you crush it and smell it, it's more like the Andes candy.
Oh my God, this is amazing. This is really good. I'm gonna have another one. I'm just gonna eat a leaf. Wow, chocolate mint's my favorite right now.
Yay.
Yeah. Okay. So, and this is what amaranth. What? How do you say it?
Amaranth.
Amaranth.
Amaranth is an old world grain.
Oh, it's pretty too. Look, it's purple.
Pink, purple. Yeah.
Purple?
So
That
when you want
lavender?
kids to eat
No, it's
a
purple.
salad, you know, make a little fairy salad and you sprinkle the purples and the greens and all that stuff. And then they're more likely to eat it. And it doesn't taste horrible. It tastes more like nothing. It's like more like a lettucey taste, you know. It's not a flavor profile. But when you mix that together with other salad components, now you're getting your kids to eat salad.
Mm-hmm.
Or somebody who doesn't like salad might eat it just because it looks pretty.
Do you have lettuce greens too? Like
Yeah, like romaine.
like romaine?
Yeah, microgreens.
Microgreens. All right, so this is the purple. Let's try this.
What other purple did you try?
A lot of purple stuff.
There's a lot of purple stuff
I've
over
tried
there.
tons of purple stuff.
Anything with purple has anthocyanins in them, and there are cancer-fighting properties.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Anything brightly colored, but really purple is...
this is interesting. How do you say it? Amaranth? No,
Amaranth.
Amaranth. Amaranth. It's interesting.
At
It's got
full-grown...
This actually tastes like grass.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
does. It tastes like I'm eating grass right now.
Right. So at full grown, it'll be about 3 feet tall, and it'll spit out these flowers that drape down like Love Lies Bleeding.
Okay.
And they're just filled with grain. And in the ancient times, people would take that grain and make their flour out of it.
They want to know, do you grow or know anyone locally that grows purple basil?
I do. You have it.
You do?
Yeah.
I have purple basil.
Over there. Variegated basil.
Let's get to it. Let's see.
It's micro.
Okay, this is invigorating basil.
No, it's variegated basil.
Variegated.
It's purple
I
variegated
think
basil.
invigorating sounds better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it happy.
In the spring, I sell the purple basil plants.
All right,
but
so here-
in the year,
Here it is, the invigorating basil.
variegated.
Yeah.
You can't get pure. Anytime you plant purple basil, you're going to get green mixed in with that. They just haven't purified it
smells-
to the point. Yeah, it smells busy.
Smells like my grandmother's kitchen. Right? It does. Like you know my grandmother's kitchen. But I'm
No,
sure my
I'm
grandmother's
sure.
kitchen kind of smells like your grandmother's kitchen.
Exactly. It's grandma's kitchen, you know.
All right. So this is the invigorating basil. I know I'm not saying it right, but it is.
I don't know. I'm going to rename it now.
Yes, you have to.
And Aziz Invigorating Basil.
Yeah,
it's going to
'cause
be a
it's gonna
brand
make
now.
you happy.
It's a whole new line.
Yeah, it's a whole new line. It's invigorating. This is awesome. You
Invigorating
throw it at
basil.
people, it'd be like freaking confetti over here. All right. It tastes like basil,
It's just purple.
and it's invigorating. See, I'm all happy now.
Yay.
All right, so sunflower. I'm going to save sunflower for last because this is ruby Swiss chard. Ruby Swiss chard.
It's just baby Swiss chard. It's red.
I don't even know what's a Swiss chard.
Swiss chard looks kind of like rhubarb, but you can.
Oh.
But it's more like a green.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like a rhubarb has that sour taste and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Swiss chard tastes more like an escarole or like a collard green, but it's prettier
Yeah.
and colorful.
Somebody wants to know, can they get this stuff from you, and how could they get it from you?
They can go to my website
Mm-hmm.
and email me.
And what's your website?
Yep.
What is it?
Oh, I thought you said
Can you give everybody the address to your website?
Oh, okay.
Please?
All right. Invigorating Z says to give the address. Undergroundgreens.co instead of .com.
All right, .co. Undergroundgreens.co. Ruby Swiss chard.
Kind of like grass.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I'm eating grass again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's colorful.
Yeah, it is. It looked good on a salad.
Yeah.
Well, just like the other one too, the purple percolator here.
The
Which one?
amaranth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would look good. It's all a part of the presentation of the salad.
Exactly. And it's that, and it's got more nutrients in it than a romaine does. It has more nutrients in it than iceberg lettuce does. It has more nutrients in it than the actual lettuces did. But I mean, really, if you taste a piece of iceberg lettuce, what does that taste like?
Lettuce.
Grass.
Grass.
It all kind of tastes like grass when you knuckle down to it, you know?
That's true. Are you a vegetarian?
No.
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 You like meat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just from the memes that you post, I could tell you like meat. Anyways, Detroit bark red butt.
Detroit dark red beet.
Oh.
I do not sell butt.
All right. It looks like
millennial
butt
thing.
to me. Okay.
No
Detroit dark red butt. Beet. These are beets. I'm not a fan of beets.
It's going to taste like grass.
Does it taste like a... Okay, let's see. Let's see what we got here. This is beets. Undergroundgreens.co. Check it out. Yeah, it's not bad. I've never been a fan of beets, but they're really good for you. What are the nutritious value for beets? What is it good for? It's like antioxidants and stuff like that.
Anything with those colors in it is going to have good antioxidants. It's going to have those anthocyanins that fight against cancer. It's going to have lung clearing properties. So and that in its adult form is one thing, but then when you're eating those little tiny ones, they have more nutrients in them than the adult version.
This is interesting.
For that reason, they're thinking, I did the Fibonacci conference. I was asked to speak this summer in Rome, and their whole theme was growing, living on Mars, and there's been studies done. Do you ever see that movie where the dude is stuck on Mars and he has to grow his own potatoes?
I haven't.
Okay, well, it's a tragedy. Guy gets stuck on Mars. He's only got so many potatoes. He doesn't have any fertilizer. He grows the potatoes outside in the Mars thing, in the soil, and he poops on them for nutrients. You don't have to poop on your plants. If you just grew those microgreens in 2 weeks, you would have enough nutrients to sustain yourself, eventually get to the seed cycle, and live on Mars.
Save the pooping on the plants.
Just
save it. You don't have to poop on your plants anymore.
Just don't poop on your plants. Grow microgreens.
That's the public service announcement for the day today.
Exactly.
I love it.
But the whole point is they're really looking into growing the microgreens on Mars because of the short life cycle and the volume of food that you can get in 2 weeks versus waiting for a tomato plant to grow. Have you ever grown a tomato plant? Know somebody who has? It takes, you plant it in the spring, you're getting your tomatoes in the fall, so you're waiting all that time for like 10 round tomatoes, whereas you can have a whole tray of greens in 2 weeks that actually have more nutrients in them than the tomato does.
When you're doing underground horticulture, do you have the lights on 24 hours? Is it a 24-hour cycle?
No,
or do you have to do
my
like a
lights on
12,
8 hours.
12,
That's
8
it.
hours?
Yep.
And then, it has to be dark and switch back and forth, right?
Yes,
Okay.
they need a night. They actually need the dark too
Yep.
to recuperate, so the photosynthesis can happen.
So they can sleep.
The nutrients can go on. The nutrients can develop, and you need to just like people need rest.
Right, exactly. Okay, this is fennel. I'm not really a big fennel fan.
Neither am I, but I don't mind the greens. It's not as strong.
It's not as strong.
Yeah, if I
And
get
that's
sausage and it's got too much fennel in it, I'm out.
And that's the one thing about all these, like, they're not too strong.
Right.
I mean, there's definitely the taste, especially on the back end on a lot of them, but like the initial taste off the bat,
Right.
it's not that strong.
Overpowering.
Fennel. Yeah,
Is it too fennel-y for you?
I'm still not a fennel fan.
Not a fennel fan. I had somebody do that this summer. They were tasting cilantro, and they were like, "Oh, I'm going to try the baby cilantro, then the microgreen cilantro." She's like, "I still hate cilantro." If you don't like the flavor, you're not going to like the flavor.
I love cilantro.
I know, me too.
Do you?
I didn't have any.
Arugula.
That
Now, exactly what is an arugula?
it's like in the lettuce family,
Okay.
but it's spicy.
So it's got a little kick to it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of.
So it's the
that
habanero of the
particular-
lettuce family?
No, it's more like peppery.
Peppery.
That's
Okay. I got all these greens all over me. I can never keep food.
We should have brought the shot back.
You should have brought a bib. Get it all over. I'm going to have some in my beard later and all this. Okay, so this is arugula,
Yeah.
which is like this spicy lettuce. I like that. That's good.
Do you? See, that's not my thing. Now I like the wasabi mustard microgreen.
You have that too? Ah,
It's not-
Christina,
once it's
why are
ready,
you
that's
holding out
fine.
on me over here?
I will bring it to you when it's ready. But the wasabi, it's not real wasabi plant even, but it does resemble that wasabi flavor. And I do like that. But for some reason, I'm not down with it. I have a ton of arugula. I'll bring that to you in a couple days.
Oh my God, that's so good.
Cool.
That's so good. Arugula's up there.
Well, between
And
all
you're
these,
right. It's got like a horseradish back into it.
Yeah.
Now, do you eat your own product or you just
Yeah, I do, but not the arugula.
not the
It's
arugula?
just, I don't know why. I'm not a fan of it.
What's your go-to? Like if you're sitting around.
Sweet peas.
Sweet peas?
Yep.
That's your go-to?
Yep. I like the sweet peas. I like the barrage. I like the amaranth just because I like the color on it. It makes me feel happy.
This one's the cabbage.
It's going to taste like cabbage.
Is it?
It's going to have a strong cabbagey flavor. But again, it's got a purple stem, a very light purple stem, and cabbage, red acre cabbage specifically, is the one with the highest nutrients, and that is the very specific one that does that release of the enzyme that's like taking that heart pill. Eat like a little cup like that.
I like it.
And it's supposed to open up your blood veins and your circulation and your flow, and you're supposed to get another 30 minutes of immediate energy after doing that. But you have to let it sit on your tongue.
Oh, okay.
Do that later and let me know how that
It's
works.
like LSD.
Oh, shit.
No, so I'm supposed to let this sit on my tongue. I'm going to save this one.
Chew it, macerate it, let it sit.
Eat it all tomorrow and see what happens. Let it lacerate my
Oh
tongue.
my God.
And see what happens.
Tell me if you get a 30-minute jump start off
Get a
of it.
30-minute something out of here. All right, so broccoli is the next one I want to
This
try.
tastes like broccoli.
Yeah.
Broccoli tastes like broccoli.
Chopping broccoli. I like this stuff. Are you a doomsday prepper?
Yep,
You are.
absolutely.
Are you ready to?
Yep,
You ready to go down? So you own a bunch of guns and do you have solar power?
I do.
You do.
I do. I have 4 panels.
4 panels.
I have a water supply.
Do you have an underground tunnel?
I do not, but I want to
It's
bury one of those containers so bad. I haven't reached that level.
Broccoli's right on. Like that.
tastes like broccoli.
It's broccoli.
Yeah.
It's broccoli. Do you set up like a stand or something like that? You know how like some
I
of the-
have a stand in Sackets Harbor where my greenhouse is.
Okay.
And so all summer long the stand's just there.
How would you package them? Like this in these little containers or?
I let them cut their own.
Oh, okay. They cut their own.
Yep, they could just come in. The flats are all out. They come in, they cut their own, they put it in their own. They weigh it. It's $3.50 an ounce. You'd be surprised how much that is and
Yeah.
how dense it is, though.
This is probably a half ounce, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just a half ounce.
I know my ounce.
I have a scale.
Yeah. No, but that's what this looks like. Like a half ounce. So
Right, that's like
and
a
that's
half
a
ounce.
lot.
That would be
For
like
$300
$1.70,
For
you know what I mean?
$3.50?
Yeah, $3.50 an ounce.
Pretty cheap.
It takes a lot to make up an ounce. No, well, I mean, underground greens, I want my prices to be affordable so that everybody can afford to do it. So I've eliminated all of the fancy stuff. I don't grow hydroponically. I grow out of my own soil that I get off my land. I have compost piles, and then I recirculate the soil, reuse it. I use rainwater. I use water from the artesian well to water. So anywhere that I could cut my cost, I did. So I can still make a profit, and I can still sell it for $3.40 an ounce.
Do you do a lot of online business too? No,
Not yet. I'm not big enough yet.
not big enough.
So I can do.
You're
grow
pretty
for
much a
few-
one-woman operation, huh?
Yeah, it's just me right now. I'm pursuing my master's degree in next semester. I just finished my bachelor's degree this semester. So I'm in school full time. I have a child. I do not have time to do the business full time. So this could be called, I don't know, product research at this point. So I grow for a few restaurants, and I grow for MVCC's culinary program in Rome, and just a few individuals right now. I can't take on any more until I can get bigger.
Right on. You got your hands full, that's for sure. What's it like for a Generation Xer to be going to school with the millennials right now?
They're very nice.
Yeah?
All super nice.
They're all good kids?
Yeah.
Is it like weird going back to school though?
It
I
is,
mean,
'cause I'm like older than some of my professors. So
I bet.
But they're super cool too. I'm at SUNY Poly. I've met just wonderful people. The students are wonderful. They're so much more open and communicative than I was when I was 18 or 19. I wasn't like that. I was shy. I wouldn't raise my hand when I first went to college. I wouldn't do any of that stuff. The millennials are just super sweet, super nice and energetic, and they want to be involved, and they want to help you with projects, and they want to collaborate and do the team stuff. So it's been wild.
So there hasn't been any social disconnect amongst you?
Well, they treat me like a mom.
I'm sure they do.
They're very nice to me. I don't know if they like me or not, but they're super nice. So they're very respectful. I haven't had any. No, I haven't felt funny.
No.
No, I haven't had that yet.
I just had carrot.
Tastes like carrot.
Tastes like carrot.
Yeah, it just tastes like carrot.
Yeah, I remember from last time you were on here. And then I saved sunflower for last. Because, what was it? There were some kind of properties with sunflower? Oh, you could dry it up and smoke it.
The big leaf. There's no healing medicinal thing to it. No.
It tastes just like sunflower.
Yeah, it does. Mm-hmm. Sunflower seeds.
Oh, I love sunflower.
And I'm bummed because I didn't have any corn ready. I sprout crop popcorn, and it tastes like sweet corn. And you grow it completely in the dark. You have to put a lid on it. Total darkness. It comes out white, and it tastes just like sweet corn.
Are you a dipper?
A what?
Dipper. Do you like condiments or any of that? You like to dip stuff?
No.
You don't dip any of this?
No, but it probably would be better.
What kind of...
It would...
Well, let's see what kind of dip you would recommend for some of this stuff.
I don't know. I guess it was just salad dressing.
Just regular old salad dressing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had like your own little concoction made up.
I don't.
I think you need to come up with one. Something with Russian dressing.
Z's invigorating Russian
See?
dressing. I'm just going to drag you into the whole product line.
That's it. Just feed me greens. And
that's it.
It's pumping my enzymes, so I'm coming up with all these creative ideas today. I don't know how you like that.
Exactly.
I like the sunflower. This is good. I'm going to eat that. I'm gonna eat them all. So...
Easier to digest than a nut. So if you have people that have diverticulitis and they can't have nuts, they have nut allergies.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And it makes it healthy too, right?
Yeah.
A nice,
absolutely.
like, in the end, it's a nice, big, healthy poop. Right?
Yes.
I got it. Well, that's what greens do for you. Huh. Interesting. Thank you for all this. So now I got lunch for the next week.
Week? I didn't bring that much. I'll bring back more before I go back up to my greenhouse.
I gotta say, I really love the sunflower, and the chocolate mint was great. And the arugula, I was surprised. I really like the arugula. I love the spice.
And everybody has their different flavor profiles that they actually like. So the good idea, the cool thing about microgreens is you can grow so many different varieties in such a small space, and get a different customer base. Some people just aren't going to like arugula. Like, I don't like it, but you're going to like it. But then you have different for such a small price. You can feed your family different ones. You can afford to buy a bunch of different ones. Instead of buying a giant head of lettuce or a giant head of cabbage and only 2 kids in your family like cabbage and you're catering and trying to switch things up and eat healthy, it's cheaper.
How much yield would you get on something like, let's say, this fennel? How much of it?
Well, one tray is going to grow 14 ounces.
14. Wow. Mm-hmm. No kidding.
Yeah.
One tray. So, and how big is a tray? Like a
10-inch by 20-inch tray.
Okay. So like a cookie
it's like
sheet.
a planting flat. They call them flats. So they're 10 inches by 20 inches. Mm-hmm. They're about 1.5 inches, 2 inches deep, depending on what one you want to use. Some of the microgreens need a deeper one. Some don't. And you get about 14 ounces.
And like you pump it with nutrients and stuff like that?
No, absolutely nothing. No, because
nothing.
I use soil. I use soil from my land that has never been farmed before by anybody but me, like in the history of America. So nobody's ever grown on it. It's all virgin, natural, organic soil. And then I just keep composting it. And I don't use fertilizer at all. You don't need to. They don't need fertilizer.
Or nutrients? What about nutrients?
They don't need anything.
No?
They only grow in 2 weeks. All their nutrients is packed into that tiny little seed. Busts open, gives it all. That's it. They're self-contained. I've never added any kind of fertilizer to them ever. Huh. So it's a cheap project to do at home, too.
Yeah.
I do workshops.
What about electricity and like what kind of would you use? Like LED lights or
14 cents a flat.
Okay.
From beginning to end of production for 2 weeks.
Oh, that's nothing.
Beyond it, no.
Well, no kidding.
Yeah, so you got 2 shop lights. You can fit 5 flats underneath each shop light. I'm sorry, 2 shop lights, and you can fit 5 flats underneath each of the 2 shop lights. And then by the end of it, I figured out the wattage. I ran a meter, and the whole thing, it's like 14 cents a flat.
Huh.
Yeah.
Would you give people advice, or maybe even set up somebody's shop for them if they were interested in doing some type of underground horticulture?
I do workshops at SUNY Poly You Can Grow, where I teach people how to do at the mini maker fair this spring. I did an interactive workshop to teach people how to grow microgreens, and all the lights are there, everything's all set up, and there's even this is how much it costs. I haven't gotten around to doing that on the website yet because I'm still tweaking a few things to make it even more user-friendly. Mm-hmm. And I just set it up on lights, and that's it. Or set it up on a timer, and that's it. I water 2 times in 2 weeks, 8 cups of water.
That's it?
That's it.
Twice in 2 weeks.
Twice in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've gotten it down to as little as possible inputs.
Do you have to pH your water out?
No.
No? Just use what other?
No, I use rainwater.
Rainwater?
Rainwater or my spring water.
Okay.
So it's not treated, so it's not city water from Rome.
Gotcha.
It's not, so...
It's spring water.
There's just too much stuff in the other. I throw it through a filter, a micron filter.
Okay.
So I filter stuff out. I don't put any more additives into it.
Gotcha.
But a filter is necessary just to make sure.
What an amazing thing you do. You can change the world with this.
I am moving more away from the retail aspect of it and going more towards the workshop. It's become more important to me to teach people how to grow their food than to make a profit off of it. Mm-hmm. It's just the direction I'm taking. It's going to take a few years to develop more workshops and everything, but I worked with Bellamy Student Farmers. We did a program there. I'm working with SUNY Poly and their food and society program to help them grow microgreens. So I'm trying anywhere that's going to take me, I'm going to go and talk. The Fibonacci conference this summer, that was a great deal of fun. I went and spoke at the Universities Fighting World Hunger International Conference in Maine, and they are literally fighting world hunger. And they love the microgreen idea. 2 weeks to set up. I mean, are considering sending them to hurricane victims because you only need that 8 cups of water, and they don't have potable water after a hurricane like Puerto Rico. They don't have,
Right.
But this kit is so light and it produces so much nutrients in such a little amount of time that there are other applications for using the microgreens. So I'm still delving. I'm still learning. I'm still figuring that all out. But that's where my research is headed.
How long have you been doing this though?
I've been growing for 20 years.
Yeah, but I mean, how about underground?
The underground greens since 2014.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Microgreens and underground greens and finally clicking into the nutrient levels. I didn't know about the nutrients. I didn't know about microgreens. I didn't know there was anything other than tomatoes and peppers, regular garden stuff, regular produce stuff, melons, whatever, whatever you would do to be a grower in this area in our climate. And it just started clicking in. I went to it's 40,000 square feet. It already had drains in the floor. The water was all hooked up. And we started doing the temperatures in the middle of the winter, just taking the temperature and never got below 42 degrees.
Wow.
So now all of these microgreens don't need to be grown at 60, 70, 80 degrees. They can be grown at just above freezing and they'll germinate. They'll germinate slower. But that just cuts down on my heating cost. So now I've got this 40,000 square foot space that I can grow in. I don't have to heat it. I have to use the lighting, but eventually that'll be hooked up to solar, and I won't even have a lighting bill. So no heating, no lighting. It becomes all profit, and it's a big enough space to do the workshops out of.
Yeah.
So that's the big goal.
Why aren't more people jumping on this?
I think that it's such a new concept.
Lack of education.
Well, it's just a new concept. It's just a new way to look at things. When I go to present a business plan, they want to know what my profit margin is. My profit margin is 76% on the dime all the time, and some of my product lines are going to be 80%. Fine. So the money is there. That's an easy thing. I could break it down and show people that. And it's not that I haven't had investors want to invest, but they don't like the workshop idea. They don't like the idea of going out and being an open source information source for growing your own food. And that's what I want to do. I want to teach people to grow their own food so that they can buy my product, but they can learn how to grow their own food. I want to open up this place in the middle of Rome, in the middle of a food desert, and hire 40 people. from the food desert to work to learn how to grow their own food. Because if we can get people to grow their own food and understand the nutrient levels that they're getting from growing their own food or buying from underground greens and learning through the workshops, now we're getting into a whole other generations and teaching them how to farm their own food and how to get their own nutrients and how to be sustainable. And really, it's about resilience. And if we want to fix these neighborhoods like where my building is in the middle of the food desert, you have to start from the bottom up and give them the opportunity to learn in a way that they want to learn, instead of saying, okay, here's your grocery store in the middle of the food desert. People aren't going to change their eating habits overnight like that. They're not going to change their eating habits until they get drawn into the process. And if they can become part of their own food channel, part of their own food distribution, if they can buy into it, then I think they'll want to change their eating habits. When you see a little kid, the fourth graders I worked at with Bellamy, when they grew their own food, they didn't care if it tasted like grass. They wanted to eat all the pink stuff. They wanted to eat the purple leaves. They wanted to eat what they grew because they grew it. And there's pride in that. It's not just sustainability. It's human resilience. And I'm more interested in that than the profit.
That's awesome.
So that's where I'm at.
So you're going to continue to teach and show people how to do this?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think you should.
Yep.
It's your calling. This is your calling, sister.
It's my thing.
Yeah.
It is. It's turned into my life's work. You know, I was raised with a garden. I grew up sharing tomatoes over the fence, and people aren't doing it anymore. That's where I want to be. I want to be that person that shares the technique over the fence where they need it the most. You know, people aren't going to change their eating habits. You can tell a rich guy, you just had a heart attack. We need you to cut down on this kind of food, this kind of food, this kind of food. He's going to have a hard time changing it. But then when you're in a poorer community or socially economic challenged community, not just hard to change your food eating habits, you can't afford it. So we have to bring the affordability from a more holistic level into those communities and help them there where they need it the most. So that's where I'm at.
Do you talk to local leaders and like government officials about what you're doing and maybe getting into, like, say, the school program or something like that, like high schools or elementary?
They have, they've let me into Bellamy Elementary School, so that's been really wonderful, and a few other local things.
Has that opened a door for you?
No. It just kind of let me in there. It's very difficult to get into the school system. It's a liability. You know, even though I have my own insurance and all of that, it's a liability for schools to have some stranger come in and grow food in your school. So some schools are really interested in it, and some schools are like, we can't afford to do it. And I'm not charging. These are free programs. I want to teach these kids how to grow food. You know, this isn't they can't afford me. It's just they're afraid of the liability.
Gotcha.
So and it's understandable. So that's what makes me want to do my own programs and workshops. I went to the Ava Dorfman Center. There's just various stuff that I'm trying to get into, and it'll happen. I'm not going to give up.
Yeah, of course not.
So somebody's going to keep letting me grow.
Yeah. Would you ever open up your own restaurant with all your...
No.
No?
No.
Wouldn't do it?
Nope.
Just pass them along to other restaurants, though, right?
It's just, that's too much. Now you're going to wreck... I owned a bar at one point a long time ago, and when you're focused on one business that is so different from the other business, it's really, you got to pick one. You have to pick one. So I picked this. That's it.
Great decision. Great decision. Oh, wow. See, I told you it's going to go by like this. I told you it was going to buy. Look, it's after 4 o'clock. Before we do get out of here, salmon fishing. You're up in the middle of the whole salmon fishing.
Yeah.
Remember back in the day with the treble hooks?
Yeah.
And people used to get their eyes poked out?
Yes. Or stuck in their cheeks so you had to push it through and then get the wire or get the, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Clip it off.
Impale themselves with the treble hooks.
Yeah.
How long ago has it been since those been outlawed? Do you know?
I think that started happening in the late 90s.
Late 90s.
But there's also... They change rules all the time. So now in certain areas, you have to relook at we just discovered in our area, there's one little spot where you can use treble hooks. And I'm not going to tell you where because I'll get in trouble from all the fishermen. But they're like allowing treble hooks back in certain areas.
Oh, wow.
Well, salmon swim upstream to die. You know.
They're going to die anyways, right?
There's that. You know, it's not like you're catching a brown trout that's going to swim away and live a long life. So... I think they always should have had treble hooks. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Those guys were getting a little careless, though. It got pretty bad, especially when you pull up to one of these little resorts or whatever where there's a river bank, and these guys would be out there at 4 o'clock in the morning drinking Bud Lights.
Yeah.
You're like, this isn't good.
I remember the first couple of holes that people discovered from places other than New York State, and it was beer cans everywhere and swearing in front of kids, and you would say fish on, and everybody would reel up before. Nobody reels up anymore.
No.
I remember one time I'm standing next to my dad, and Dad's got a fish on, and I'm standing next to him, and I'm about ready to take his picture, and this guy's line crosses, and he's like, I said fish on. Guy didn't pay attention at all, still not reeling up. My dad takes his cigarette out of his mouth and goes, tss, and burns the dude's line. I was like, oh, there's going to be a fight on the river. I was like 12. So people aren't as polite as they used to be.
No.
They're not following the old school rules, fish on, reel it in. None of it.
But is snagging still a thing? Like, you leave the line out like yay big, and you just whack your pole up against the water as the fish would come swimming at you?
Well, it's illegal.
It's illegal?
It's illegal.
Oh, it's illegal.
It's illegal.
Oh, okay. But it happens.
We once had a group of fishermen come up and visit us, and we were out. I don't even remember where we were, but each and every one of them got a ticket
Did they really?
for snagging. Each and every one. Like, he had to be watching. The guy came out. They said something about the game warden came out, and he was laughing. He's like, I hate to do this to you guys, but you guys are all getting tickets. So that was that.
Cha-ching.
Yeah.
What kind of fine is that for snagging?
$80.
$80?
At the time. That
Yeah.
was like in 2004.
Right, so it's probably more.
No,
now.
2008. Yeah.
Now it's probably like a $200 ticket.
Yeah.
Wow, no doubt. But is it still pretty crazy and hectic up there?
It's. I don't go to the Trestle anymore. I go to smaller areas.
Okay.
Yeah, I go to Dexter quite a bit because it's closer to my camp. I can't do the Trestle anymore. I can't do. There's just so many people.
Yeah, it's all touristy.
Yeah. I mean, it's still great fishing. I'm glad they're having fun, but I did it for a long, long, long time since I was 12. I'm 48 now, so I don't need to go to the Trestle
You
anymore.
already did that.
Yeah, I experienced it then. I got a ton of videotape. I had a good time, so that's done.
Yeah. It was quite the experience.
Yeah. How many times did you went?
Yeah, we used to go every year with my family.
Right.
The old man used to pack us all up, and like uncles would come from California to come here.
Exactly.
And we would make a thing and go to Pulaski.
Yeah.
Columbus Day weekend, go salmon fishing and treble hooks and snag and get in arguments with dudes. And
Yes.
it was a thing.
It was a thing. That's our thing. Some people have Christmas. We have Christmas too. But the salmon thing is much more fun because there's no obligation for gifts.
Right.
It's just salmon cooking. Oh, it's just amazing. We have our family come in from Virginia, and it's all right. We had guys from Puerto Rico come in one year. They were all right. Those are the guys that got the tickets. Poor guys.
They didn't know any better.
No, they did know.
Oh, they did. See,
knew.
I'd rather take a charter or something like that than just standing in the cold water.
Though, the charters, you're getting those salmon from 300 feet down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's a long time to reel. And they
Oh, it's
have
a
the little
fight.
clicky thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like 200 feet. Really? How many more feet do I,
It's a fight. You're fighting with those dudes.
Yeah.
It is.
I prefer the half-dead salmon, thank you. I'm
Half-dead salmon.
I'm good with that.
It'd be a good name for a death metal band.
Half-dead salmon.
Christina, thanks so much for coming in and bringing me food for the week.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to try to figure out a good condiment to dip in some of these.
Why don't you ask your spirit guide?
Right?
There should be a sign.
Yeah.
When you get done here, there's going to be a song that comes on. It's going to give you exactly what kind of condiment you should use.
It's going to hit me in the face.
Yeah.
Like bird pooping on my head.
As the Italian old lady bips you in the back of the head.
Yeah. That's what's going to happen. My spirit guide is totally sick of me by now, I think.
Oh, no. I think he's just getting started.
He's just getting started.
Just getting started.
Oh, my God. Great time, though. Good hang today. And
Thank you.
we've got to have you come back and try out some more of your delicious delights over here.
Yay.
Undergroundgreens.co if you're interested in hearing about more what Christina does. And she also has the stand at Seckett's Harbor in the summertime. So go up there and visit her. That's a pretty hip and happening area, especially in the
fun.
summertime. Bay,
Yeah.
Seckett's Harbor,
Yep.
Thousand Islands, that whole area.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fun up there. Good times, good times. Thank you so much again for coming in. Before we do get out of here, much love to Utica Hemp. I'm rocking the Utica Hemp hoodie today. Yeah, see? Thank you, Joe. See? Rocking it. Thank you, Joe. Actually, Joe has been clothing me like all week.
Nice.
Like the only clothes I have right now is Utica hemp clothing.
You have people to clothe you.
And
people to
feed me.
you.
It's like the 90s all over again for me. Anyways, much love to Utica Hemp. They're doing some cool things over there. They got 4 locations, and see if CBD can work for you. It works for me every day. I take it every day, throw it in my coffee, I throw it down my throat, to eat gummies. There's dog treats. There's a whole bunch of stuff. There's topicals if you want to rub yourself down with some body butter. It's a lot of fun to rub yourself down with some body butter. Take it from me. I am a butter body freak. I love that stuff. It's got that warming sensation, almost like a Bengay, but not.
The CBD.
CBD.
oil.
Oh, it's so good.
The warming thing.
The body butter. I love the body butter. Rub it all over. Anyways, it's really, really good, and it improves my quality of life every day just by taking a couple of drops of the CBD. It helps me with my arthritis, and you can try it out. Go down there. They got samples. If maybe that word hemp is you're scared of that word, don't be scared. Just they got a knowledgeable staff, and they can help you through any kind of pain and ailment that you're going through. So just go down there, talk to them, try a sample. If it works for you, boom, great. Give them a shot, though. I'm telling you. Tell them Uncle Z sent you, too. UticaHempCo.com. You can check them out online. Also, much love to Nye Volkswagen in Rome. Pretty simple and easy. If you mention this podcast, they'll give you $250 off that vehicle purchase. I love my Volkswagen. That's for damn sure. Check them out. NyeVDubofRome.com. Also, EJA Moving Services, the professional movers. When it's time to move and relocate, hit up Eddie and his crew. Eddie's an awesome dude. He'd be into these underground greens. I'm going to make sure I get him some of this stuff. He would be into that. He could probably help you move some when you're ready to move your stuff.
Yeah.
You go into a new location. When you go into that 40,000 square foot warehouse facility, have Eddie move you over there. It's pretty simple and easy with him too. All you got to do is tell Eddie where to put stuff, and he puts it there. He'll even put it together, plug stuff in for you. He does all that stuff.
Nice.
Packs it up for you, moves you wherever you got to go, gym equipment, any of that stuff. Eddie is the man, and he's got a great staff too. They're very, very cool, and they really take care of your stuff. They do. They wrap their stuff up with the blankets, and they strap it into the. They do all the work, and it's appropriate. EJAmoving.com. Give them a shout. Tomorrow, I got Ryan Matter coming in, an amazing singer-songwriter. Absolutely awesome. And I'm psyched for Thursday's guest. Christina, you'll enjoy this one. I've got the owner of Sub Pop Records on here on EC Radio, Bruce Pavitt. He found Nirvana. He found bands like Mudhoney and Green River and those bands from Seattle. Like he is, in fact, Bruce Pavitt is the guy to coin the phrase grunge. Yeah, so he's coming on the show on Thursday. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm actually prepared for it, too. I wrote questions. Usually I don't prepare for this shit at all. I just go open the mic and just start talking. But I'm actually prepared. I have questions all written up for him. I'm really looking forward to that. He's doing a thing at MVCC on November 1st. Called Experiencing Nirvana. And so just before Nirvana broke, they were over in Europe. And he's got all these great pictures and movies and stuff. He does like this slideshow and talks about Kurt Cobain in his life and all that. So it's a really, really interesting slideshow that he's got going on. And so he's got some amazing stories. And he started a music revolution.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I'm sure how many Nirvana albums you have.
I was in New York City in the 90s.
See, you remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember.
I wore flannel.
What were the hot bars in New York City in the 90s besides CBGB's in the wetlands?
Mercury
Lounge.
Knitting Factory. Forgot about that. Webster Hall. Yeah. That was really it.
Roseland Ballroom. Yeah, it's a shame that's gone.
I was drunk during the 90s. I remember everything.
I like to refer to the 90s as my blackout years. Yeah. I think I had fun. In fact, I know I had fun.
Aces? Yeah.
That was another spot?
Yeah.
What about, what's the Max's?
Maxwell's. No, Kansas City Max.
Kansas City, yeah. Max at Kansas City or something.
I think if I had a couple of beers, I could remember.
Isn't that funny how that happens?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a good scene happening back then.
Yeah, there was. It was awesome.
I'm really looking forward to talking.
Lion's Den.
I've been there.
Forgot about the Lion's Den.
Yeah.
That's where I met Kip Ebom and Frankie Wood. Wow.
Yeah. All your freaky friends that you meme about now. Anyways, what a great scene, though, back in the day in New York. And, I was talking to my buddy, and I've been hanging out with a buddy of mine who's been up from Brooklyn for the last couple of days. And he was telling me, the rock is totally dead down there. There's no rock scene down there at all. It's all, DJs and stuff like that. And it's very hard to get people out to a rock show. It's a shame. Come upstate.
It's moving. I had friends that had recording studios. They've all moved out to the suburbs. They've moved to Pennsylvania because the scene just isn't there anymore. People aren't going to New York to get discovered anymore.
Yeah.
Because of awesome recording studios technology. You know,
Right.
you don't need to be in that scene anymore.
Yeah.
I miss it.
Yeah, I do too.
I went out. I didn't know where to go.
Now here you are growing greens underground.
Yeah, I'm a farmer now.
Yeah, doomsday prepper you.
Yeah.
Check her out online. It's undergroundgreens.co for more information. She's got really cool stuff. And get yourself some of these shrubberies, man. There's some good stuff in here. There really is. It's very nutritious for you and make you feel good. And it's very healthy for you. Make you poop better.
Make you poop.
I'll see everybody tomorrow. Christina, thanks again for coming on.
Thank you.
Been fun. Good to hang. And we'll let me see. Let me click this button and we'll get out of here. We'll see you later. Later. Bye.
Thank you for calling the EC Radio Attitude Adjustment Line. Press 1 if you need a good slap in the mouth. Press 2 if you need a stern verbal lashing. Press 3 if you need a timeout. Press 4 to respond to the voices in your head. Press 5 if you need to talk to your mom. And if this is an actual emergency, please hang up and call someone who gives a shit.
EC Radio.
Only on the D.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broking everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at Nye Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my Nye VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome or visit us online at nyvwofrome.com.
Want to know what's going on at the D? Hit up DisruptionNetwork.net and check out our events calendar brought to you by the Events Co. Find out about upcoming guests, special events, concerts, show schedules, community activities, and more. Get connected at DisruptionNetwork.net.